All right, gardeners, well, good morning to you. It's been very busy. Got a lot of wind today. Yesterday was our low wind day at 7 miles an hour, and so that was a good day for us with the lower winds. So we went ahead and we laid out the rest of our row fabric here. Now, as you can see, it's very windy, and one of the things we do is we're going to put a snow fence across the front to kind of act as just like you see on a beach, where you got snow fences used to stop some of the sand from blowing and that type of thing, or to lessen the amount. We definitely seen an improvement with our plants up here from being ripped out by having a snow fence used up here. So we went ahead and burned in some holes there. Definitely inside of the high tunnel, tomatoes are without a doubt, they are growing very, very well. I'm starting to see some green tops coming out of these. Watering them yesterday. They're just getting their feet on the ground. It won't be long. We're going to go ahead and do the fertilizer, or have to put the other batch of plants in there. We got a lot of blooms happening right now, don't we? Got a lot of blooms, so it won't be long. We'll be setting tomatoes. Much better than a year ago. So, and unlike a year ago, we lost quite a few plants. This year, they're all hanging in there. So Delia did a wonderful job. I just think we had a lot of problems with aphids and damping off and things like that. I'm going to take you back out. We're going to go out there and look at our onion bed. I'll show you we laid some woven fabric between the rows, and at a good time too. Because of the wind, got it done, and the weeds are starting to come on, so let's go out and take a look at that. Now this area is weedy. This is where the green beans are going to go. I was going to go fertilize and plant some green beans today, but I'm afraid if I go to fertilize this, what's going to happen is as my neighbor said, he says all your fertilizer is going to end up in Nebraska, and he's right. So anyway, cancel fertilize and plant today. Here is our row fabric we're putting down. You see it, how we are stapling them down with sod staples. We do have some sandbags to kind of keep it down. Look at how nice a lot of these onions are doing. They're actually putting out some growth here, folks. We actually have our onions actually putting out some pretty good growth. Now this black plastic, to me, in my opinion, just is a deal changer as far as getting plants off to a very fast start. These haven't been planted very long. They had just gotten in, but you could tell that the drip lines and the water, they're getting to them, they're getting activated. So definitely going to be an improvement. Now last year, Delia and I fought like crazy with the weeds in these rows here. So my own personal view is this, you can either hire the labor, and this is going to have to be gone over on a daily basis and that type of thing, and you got to pay for it, or you got to do it, or whatever. However, now we have the row fabric. It's actually quite good for our also think about our erosion of the soil. Don't have to deal with that. I don't have to worry about weeds. It is gonna be a big benefit to us. And on top of it, take a look at our cauliflower in here. Look at how much the cauliflower is growing. And this is out of last year's onion beds that we did it in. And let's look also over here at our broccoli. Look at the tremendous growth in our broccoli, guys. Isn't that something? It's a deal changer having all of this added heat, having the row covers. Now, I've gotten quite a few messages from gardeners on Facebook asking me what the cost of this row fabric is. It's by DeWitt Manufacturing, and it's $53.05 for a 4-foot wide by 300-foot row. Make sure when you cut the fabric, run a burner down the edge to singe it off so it stays good for you for the long run. But without a doubt, I love the fact, folks, this is garlic right here. The garlic is even taking off at a much faster pace due to the added heat. I love it. Everybody's on rocking and rolling right now. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and show you the rest of this, and then I'll get this video out for you for Thursday. So let's go and look at a couple other products. That is red cabbage right there. Look at how nice the red cabbage looks. And what I've also kind of liked so far, I don't see any real damage to anything. You know, these things are supposed to also keep insects out, so cross my fingers on that. Look at these German giant garlic. Don't they look good? Yeah, they're gonna be really good. Here is our green cabbage. Look at how nice they are doing. Got one that didn't do very well. I'll take it. And last but not least, this is a kind of a mixture. Down here, what do we got? Yeah, got some more cauliflower. And on the far end we have, and here is iceberg lettuce. Look at how nice that's looking. She's starting to form a head. Well, real quick, we have a lot of problems out here due to the wind. We had a lot of failures due to the weeds. Also found a water line broke, and it's been kind of a disaster out here. However, the good rows or whatever, look at all the strawberries. We're getting a little bit of rain right now, but look at all the blossoms. Yeah. There's an awful lot Delia and I did wrong on berries, and I'm gonna say it was inexperience on our part. Also fighting the weeds. As you recall, this area was loaded with palm amaranth, water hemp, and no matter how hard I tried, it just kept coming on, cockleburrs, whatever. So we started laying down roll fabric. Then these 40-50 mile an hour winds started happening, and we did not have enough sandbags on them. So bottom line is I got a little problem there. We've been slowly getting everything back in place, but now that we have the row covers off, I think Delia and I are going to be still very pleased. These are bare root strawberries that we planted last July. Can you believe it? Look at how well they did. Look at all. Yeah, I tell you folks, I think we're going to be in about 3 weeks. We're going to be very busy harvesting a lot of strawberries. Look at all them blooms. Look at them all. I think in hindsight, I think I'm kind of glad that not all of the strawberries come up. That's just an honest statement, but it's true. We're going to be too heavily loaded here with strawberries if we didn't. So, but they are coming on. I went ahead and sprayed on the berries a fungicide, and about once a week from my understanding. I need to put that fungicide on, and I have a couple different types. That's something there for you to talk with your county extension advisor, or you can look it up in the Midwest Berry Guide. They have that information in there as well. But even some of our smaller berries here, you know, are still loaded very, very well. So I think Delia and I, we're going to be pretty happy with them here this year. Lord God, if you guys want to come visit our farm in about 3 to 4 weeks, please consider coming by and picking some strawberries. I don't know our price yet, but you know, I can see right now 2 geriatrics. There's going to be a lot of quarts. Yeah, like I said, in 3 weeks, you guys want to come by and to our farm, pick some strawberries. Tour our farm. We're very happy to have you. Certainly old White Dog will be happy to see you. He's out there in the potato field just waiting for potatoes to show up. But we'll try to continue getting a lot of this straightened out on the next low wind day. But we're going to have a lot of berries. No matter where I go, even in the smaller rows, I mean, even like that little one, it may not be very big berries, but This is a replanted row that Delia did last year. And even this one did very well. And I tell you why I know it's a replanted row, because we said, well, let's just go ahead and make sure we plant down one row, and then we'll take the runners and we'll connect them over there to where the other ones died. You follow what I'm saying? So we'll try to go ahead and get a second year out of them. But even though these are pretty small plants, hopefully we get some good berries. There's a nice berry right there. Look at him. So we did, the thing I know about berries is there is like a gray, the berries will want to turn gray and kind of die off or warp off or dampen off. I'm sorry I don't have it with me out here in the field, but that's the reason, the purpose of spraying a biologic, a fungicide. And you want to have more than one type of fungicide, because you don't want to do it back to back. You need to kind of alternate that stuff, you know. And I'm not the expert on that. I am getting instruction from some very good berry group producers. So, but this is our berry field, good or bad, a lot of the failures. But I think there's some very positive things that we did. I mean, and for the record, you could say, well, this is the first row they planted. That's why it was our last rows that we planted. This is the last day. And these particular berries, why they survived and those say didn't, we're at kind of a loss. But hopefully next year, we're going to try to go 2 years with it. And so I'll mow this back, cut it back, and we'll have to pull some runners through the summer. But the idea is that we don't have the weeds to deal with. And if old Ed don't have to be hand digging these potatoes over here, this is why you need to look, folks. I have sandbags on this stuff, but the winds here have been so but the winds have been so darn severe that it's ripped everything. Why is all my electric fence all tore down? Well, it's because the row fabric and the black fabric and all this stuff just blowing. And on the big windy days, it's terrible. So anyway, the next 5 to 7 mile an hour wind day, we're going to get this area fixed up, get things straightened out and everything. I tell you, we got this put on last, I don't know, whenever the last video was. You saw Brett and I came out here and we laid after we mowed all of the palm amaranth down. Well, we also turned right around and laid down this fabric. You can see what a good job it did killing off the weeds on the top. You follow what I'm saying? So there's some positives about this that we can measure right now. We put this fabric down a year ago. I think this next year, you know, we'll go over the winter. We'll try to get this row fabric picked up. We just had to put something down to stop the weeds from growing. That's how bad it is. And we're going to do the same thing over there in the watermelons. Get a bunch of fabric laid out and all that. But anyway, this is good or bad, folks. Sorry to let you down on our strawberries, and Delia and I is doing the best we can with it. But we do have a lot of berries coming on nonetheless. For 2 older senior citizens, I think we're going to be plenty busy. I hope to have you out here. Hey, if you like these types of videos, do us a favor, hit that like and subscribe. Come grow with us.